everyone. Today we're going over the water sylph, the undine. It is a Greek origin and Latin origin. It means waves is actual Latin translation. Alright. So undine can be either seelie or unseelie court. Again, for anyone that hasn't seen the other videos, the seelie court is the friendly court. The unseelie court are the ones that want to kill you. Undine are usually female, human-sized. They have very fluid movements. They are often moody. They can be very loving. They become jealous very easily, so they are someone you really need to be careful when working these. If the water that they live in is clear, clean water known for good fishing, they are typically going to be a seelie court. If you have a murky puddle or a water that is high in acidity or pollution, you're probably going to be looking at an unseelie court, undine. So in myth, undines married humans to obtain a human soul. They are typically Greek myths. A lot of deals that are broken when working with undine. Be very careful not to break any deals you have made with them. That is because when you break a deal with them, it usually results in the death of the undine. Typically humans don't die from breaking deals, but killing a fae can make every other fae hate you, and that's not good. There's a lot of reasons why you don't want them to hate you. So typically they can't go very far from the home body of water, or they'll die. Or if their puddle dries up, they die, stuff like that. So there's a lot of myths about puddles, especially puddles that reflect trees or stuff in them, are known to be portals to the western Feywild. The west is the western territories of the Feywild is home to undines. There's a lot of myth of where you will be dragged into a puddle. That's typically an undine. There's a lot of very nasty mythology on these guys. And I've met more unseelie undines than I have seelie undines. I usually don't really work with them. I advise extreme caution when working with them. Some people they're great with, though. So they have very strict laws, and they are outside of human laws. So things that they do may make absolutely no sense to you. But just do what they say. Be very respectful. Killing humans is not something that is against the law for them. So Nisha is the king. Theris is their ruler, which is the higher angel. Then Talahad is their angel, which is, and then Gabriel is the archangel. Again, their territories lie in the west of the Feywild. So there's a lot of other water fae out there. Some that are a lot more willing to work with us than undine. Silkies, for example, they have a seal skin, and they live in the water, and when they come onto land, they shed their seal skin. And a lot of the females and males will marry into human society. This is a lot of where our fae ancestry, our fae blood may come from. Silkies are from Ireland, I believe. Mermaids are typically unseelie. They are another one that are very vengeful and tricky. They like to drown people. Half mermaids, though, are typically very loving towards humanity. They are the Seelie court almost always. Fyrdirds are a Scottish, I believe. They are the Seelie court. They warn of the unseelie. So they typically look like drenched rats. And if you see one of these scurrying about you, it means that there is an unseelie fae near you. And to be extremely careful. Benia are Seelies. They warn of death. These are later got translated into banshees, which are beautiful women fae that are seen as... They're seen by riverbeds washing someone who will die's clothing from stains, or weeping outside of someone's door. Sometimes they'll even tap on the person that's going to die's window. They are a warning. They are not bad, though. They're trying to help you. It's just their way of, hey, be very careful. Lenashi are Seelie courts, but they can be a little dangerous. They like to play tricks on people, and sometimes their tricks go a little too far, but they're not intentionally trying to hurt you. They are usually very, very happy. Just do a lot of research on these guys. These guys are a lot like boggarts, where they're very individual. They either like something that you're doing or they don't. But they're usually pretty easy to deal with. And then Kelpies, I'm sure almost everyone's heard stories of these. These are the horses that like to eat people, but they will drown you first. So there's a really good myth about I think 3 little girls and a boy were playing by the water, and a beautiful pony comes up, and one of the little girls jumps on its back, and the pony stretches itself to make room for the other girl. The other little girl jumps on its back and stretches itself again and makes room for the third little girl. The third little girl jumps on its back, it stretches out, makes room for the little boy. The little boy looked at it and said, that's not right. He's like, I don't know, I don't want to get on a strange horse. The Kelpie turned its head around and said, get on, you little... I forget what basically twerp, but in Celtic or Scottish language.
Grown up words?
Not grown up words. But it got angry at him and ordered him to get on its back. The boy, terrified of this horse that just spoke to him, ran and hid behind rocks. The little girls were so enchanted with the horse that they did not heed the little boy's warnings. They did not feel any fear. This horse walked into the water, drowned the little girls, and the only thing they found of them were their intestines. It's the only thing the Kelpie does not eat. Poor Leah, she's just...
I'm so traumatized now. I'm never going to look at a horse the same way. Thank you.
Super freaked out now. So, obviously, unseelie. Don't get on strange horses that you find by the water. So, that's pretty much all I have on those guys. For my personal experiences with Undine. And I have quite a few. I'll just tell you of some. When I meditate, I usually have a knife that I use to cut into the other realm, to cut myself a passage. That way I don't get lost. I can cut my way in, I can cut my way out. When I cut open to the west and I walk through, there are beautiful, sparkling rivers, rivers of gold, rivers of potions that will make you beautiful, that'll make you, there's like endless numbers of what these rivers of healing and wealth and everything can do. My favorite one to go to is a river, and its water is beautiful golden color, and it flows throughout the entire Feywild. I've gone here, and on my way here, there is a murky puddle. And I always kind of take care not to walk past them anymore. But before I knew better, I stepped over the puddle, and I was grabbed, and I was pulled. So in the Feywild, your voice, just like in any other plane, your voice is going to be what saves you. If something happens, you yell stop. Or you say something that your command is law in other realms. So I said, let go. I was let go. And I kept walking. Aside from a face under the water, definitely a woman's face, and 2 hands, I did not see anything else. Her body was, I wouldn't go as far as to say like dead person blue, but it definitely wasn't, it had like a little touch of blue to it. And it was almost transparent, or not quite as solid as we are. Her hair was a reddish brown. Her eyes were copper, like bright copper. And this is one of the many encounters where I've had Undine of the Unsilly Court try something. There's also a river just up past my house here. It's called the Noose River, for anyone that knows of it. It is well known for fishing, and it is brackish water, so it's kind of a murky color. And for a while, like I think this year it's pretty clean, but last year they put out a no swimming warning, and every fae that lived in that water became so angry. I go there now and do cleansing rituals. I pour energy into the Feywild, and I pour energy into the lower world to help balance things. That kind of stuff is really good to do. But the water out there now is pretty acidic. There's a lot of bogs and a lot of areas that you don't step in the water. So always be extremely careful when dealing with undines. There's a lot of stories of them not being friendly. But there are some stories of them being extremely helpful and extremely loving. Their main magic is not just water magic. It is healing, it is self-healing, it is love, it is, they know a lot about the dark places in our psychology. If you're trying to battle with your shadow self, if you're trying to learn to accept the flaws that you have, an undine is extremely helpful to talk to. Just make sure you choose a very good one. And you'll know. You'll know immediately whether it's good or not. And if you run into an unseelie fae, simple chants, simple, just a word, stop, go away, let go, whatever you say with your voice becomes real. There's a common belief that when dealing with spirits, fae, whatever you deal with, if you tell it something 3 times, or if you ask it something 3 times, the 3rd time it has to tell you the truth. I would say don't pry into knowledge that if they tell you you're not ready to know, leave it be, don't ask 3 times. But if something's trying to harm you, tell it stop or go away 3 times, it'll almost always leave. If it doesn't, always bring some way of protecting yourself. So again, I really urge you to use caution when dealing with undines. I have not had good experiences with them. But I've also heard some people do really well with them. So, if you want to tackle this one, be careful, but go for it. Believe in yourself, believe in your magic. You'll be good.